Hello everybody, this is Michael from Valor Recon, here today talking about the future of Valorant, and more specifically, what I am hoping for Valorant's tournament system, which is supposedly going to be similar to League's Clash. Now before we jump into this, I just want to let you know that I do not play League, and as such do not know every detail of League's Clash system, but without further ado, this is what I am hoping for Valorant's Clash. First off, let's talk a little bit about what we know about the system. Back with patch 3.03, the following was data mined by @ValorLeaks on Twitter. Compete in high-stake tournament mode against other teams to earn super cool prizes. Tournaments are every other weekend with timetables listed below. Get started by verifying your identity, then creating or joining a team. And the following parts of the system were also found. Creating teams. Once you create a team, after being verified, you can invite teammates. Find a team. Look for available teams to join, or post yourself as a free agent on the scouting board, tournament shop, and team tags. So those are kind of what were first revealed. Then, a couple weeks later, Riot Evermore on Twitter posted the following tweet. We are working on an act-based tournament system. If you win one of the tournaments during an act, you get an invite to an end-of-act big tournament. Team sizes of 5 to 7, we want you to be able to swap out players between matches. This is all early work in progress, no ETA. Here's an early wireframe. So yeah, then this image was shared. It's part of the thumbnail. This is like the one official image, because this is an official tweet, that we have about it. Interestingly, with the most recent update, we learned that you have to connect a phone number to your account in order to participate in this Clash system to reduce the number of Smurfs that you will run into. And this is honestly huge, and I think it's really, really awesome. So, in total, we know that they are officially working on the system and have been for at least a couple months so far. It'll happen every other weekend, require you to verify your info by phone number, and give you the ability to join a team. We also know that you can look to join a team or put out a request for a teammate through the game, so if you don't have a 5-stack, you can still participate in this game mode. We also know that there's going to be a scouting board, which will most likely be the place where you find teammates. It'll also have a tournament shop, which most likely will be the reward of playing the system, but I'll talk about this a little bit later. And team tags, which I assume will be a place to set your acronym, icon, and more to make you more of a team. We also know that you'll be able to make teams of 5 to 7, with the 2 extras being able to swap if someone has to leave or someone is underperforming. It also looks like it'll be single elimination, consisting of 8 teams battling to be number 1, but also this will lead to an end-of-act tournament, which will probably have better rewards. Now, of course, all of this is work in progress, so any of this could be different when it actually becomes implemented, but this is what we know so far. Okay, so that's already a lot that we know for a system that's only ever been confirmed through Twitter, but what am I hoping for? Well, here are 7 things I hope, and I really do hope, are part of the tournament. And these range in severity from things that like balanced matchmaking to things that maybe aren't as serious, but I think would make the system superb. Let's talk about those. Alright, so the first thing is balanced matchmaking. Well, this may seem like a duh, making sure that teams are balanced and the amount of Smurfs is imperative. If there's one team made up of 5 Radiants and they're Smurfs, no one is going to have fun. And I think this problem is very clear from trying to queue with a high skill disparity inside of ranked, because they recently allowed you to do that as 5 stacks. And I sat in queue for about 25 minutes just trying to test out that system. And so I'm really hoping that I am able to queue with whoever I want while still having balanced matchmaking. And I understand that that's kind of a two-sided coin. Do I want balanced matchmaking or do I want to be able to queue with whoever? But I'm going to be very disappointed by this system if you all have to be like within the same rank disparity. That will limit people's ability to play this drastically, as you can only play with people of similar skill level. And for me, I have friends who are way below me in rank. I have friends that are way above me in rank. And I want to be able to play with just whoever I can. And so I hope there's a good way to do it. I hope that because it's a special enough thing, there'll be an increase in traffic, which means there won't be quote-unquote long queue times, or at least they'll be able to match up, like, balanced teams. But I am not sure. Like, I think that this is something that they need to get right, because if they do limit who you can queue with, I do believe that it may end up being the quote-unquote downfall of the system. If it's hard to play, and you know they have the scouting board, which I think is great, but I think if they make it hard to play with friends, no one's going to play the mode. So yeah, The second thing is good rewards. And again, this is probably another duh, but I want to talk a little bit about what I want the reward structure to look like. Games of Valorant are long, and so making sure the rewards are good is important. The issue is that the rewards of Valorant are all cosmetics. So this is how I think it should be structured, because what I find cool as a cosmetic, you might not. We already know that there's going to be a shop, so I believe that almost every single reward should be a currency used within the store. And that's how the rewards would be structured. I mean, for example, let's say just for playing, you get 20 Clash points. Then if you win your first round, you get an additional 20 Clash points. And then if you win the second round, you get an additional 40, meaning we're already at 80 Clash points. You got your 20 for signing up, your 20 for winning the first round, and 40 for winning the second round. Then it goes up 20 each time, meaning the next round, if you win, you'll get an additional 60 points. Then the shop contains rewards you can spend that currency on. There'd be some items that you can always buy, like Radianite and maybe a buddy that you could have more than 2 of because you can keep buying them, and other rewards like that. Then each act, there would be 3 or 4 rewards consisting of sprays, buddies, cards, and titles. These would change every act. Then there'd be a couple spots that change every episode, which could be things like gun skins. These would take multiple Clash wins in order to get enough points. However, I think that there should be about 2 real rewards per tournament as well. I really like the idea of being able to spend your currency because then you can buy, the cosmetics you think are really cool instead of having to buy the ones that they put on it. But I do think giving out about 2 rewards per tournament would be nice. One would be like a participation trophy. And I think it should be something super simple like the Act Coin Buddies, but it just has like the date of Clash. And then that way you kind of have a record of every Clash you participated in. Then the first place could get a more special reward. One idea could also be to give out the coin buddies like trophies with bronze, silver, and gold, and whether there's a new one of these for each tournament or just a Clash bronze, Clash silver, Clash gold, and you could have multiple of them, I think any of those systems would be really, really cool, because then you could have a record of, oh, I have won 5 Clashes. Oh, I have gotten second place in 3 Clashes. And then you can also kind of show that off. So I think that would be kind of cool. I think that would be a fun way to do it as well. But I do like the idea of the extra currency, and then maybe 1 or 2 rewards. Again, if they could do a buddy for each one, that would kind of clog up buddies. So maybe they end up with just like a Clash coin and then a new like spray every other week. I think that would be awesome. And it gives you a reason to play in like this specific Clash. Oh, I really like the buddy you get for being number 1. I really want to win this one. Which I think adds a little bit of urgency, but you also have the currency that allows you to, maybe if you're not, the best at the game, you can still get some of the rewards by pooling multiple Clashes together. But if you're really good, you might be able to buy the reward you want after 1. So that's kind of what I'm hoping for when it comes to rewards. The next thing is multiple modes. When I say this, I don't mean like a replication tournament, even though I think that could be a fun one-off thing, maybe like April Fools. I mean different kinds of tournaments. Maybe one is double elimination. Maybe the second one is a speed mode where you only have to get to 7 wins. The point is, I feel like there could be some really fun modes where it's still the typical Valorant gameplay, but with slightly different modifiers. Maybe we see tournaments where certain characters are disabled. Think about a tournament with no Viper, no Jet, and you just kind of take the 5 most played agents and you just say, no, they're not going to be part of this. I think that would be really, really fun. So, yeah. Maybe we see tournaments where certain characters are disabled, or ones where you play a character you can't pick the same one later. So what I mean by that is like, say we had a tournament where if you picked Cypher in your first game, you could not pick Cypher again. And that encourages you to play a varied characters. And I could see some really interesting, things. Do you save the most powerful characters for later on in the tournament? But what if you don't make it there? So then you have a little bit more strategy when it comes to character picking, rather than just picking Jet, Reyna, Viper, Sage, Sova. And I think that would be pretty awesome and would mean that the gameplay would be interesting and unique. Then, I want reasons to play as one team. This one's a little bit more niche, but I feel like the system needs to be designed in a way where you get a major benefit from staying as one team over multiple tournaments. I feel like there are multiple tournament styles where switching up teams every tournament could actually be beneficial, with almost team placement matches while it judges your skill level. I don't want to feel forced to swap up teams to get easier teammates while it judges the team's skill. And when I said easier teammates, I mean easier enemies. So while it is a small thing, I want to be able to play with my friends. However, I also want to be able to play with different teams and not be locked into one team for the whole act. So I think a good balance is needed. And if I'm making this convoluted, I'm sorry, but basically, I could see a world where your first couple games as a team, you're in placement matches, essentially, almost as if your team had a rank. And then because of that, you can go up against easier people for 1 or 2 rounds. I don't want that to be the case because then I'm going to feel pressured to, switch up the team every so often or every tournament. And I just don't think that's something that we need. But at the same time, I also don't want people to be locked in to one singular team, because then if you end up hating your teammates, especially if there's a scouting board and all of that, then you can't do anything about it. All right, then I want to talk about customization. I feel like Team Pride's a huge thing, and so I'm hoping there's some sort of buddy skin or spray that actually can be customized within the tournament to match your icon and name. In that wire work, you could see that there were icons and names, and so it'd be kind of cool if each icon had a spray, and there was just a spray that whenever you sprayed it, it was your team icon. I know that's like a really, really small thing and very insignificant, but I feel like it would encourage just playing part of one team and having this team identity rather than having your own individual playstyle. Then I want an end of episode tournament. If you win a tournament, you get to go to the end of act tournament. I feel like it makes sense that if you win an act tournament, you get to go to an end of episode tournament. This end of episode tournament would be the biggest of the tournaments, as they only happen twice a year. Again, I feel like this is just kind of a natural progression that if we're doing end of act ones, end of episode ones would be really awesome too. And lastly, team tiers. Similar to rank, I feel like there should be different tiers of teams, and as teams do better, you can rank up and down. This would lead to a Radiant team pool, which could fight it out. And you could have winning as a Radiant team for Clash make you eligible for some pro scene tournament, giving a pathway in-game to pro play, which I think would be kind of cool. It's a way to merge the in-game experience with the pro play that you see online through Twitch and all that. I just feel like that would be really, really fun. It would give people like the idea of, all I have to do is play the game and eventually I could become a pro. I don't have to, do outside marketing. So it's saying, I'm not going to say that's going to make anyone a pro, but it does definitely introduce the pro scene to more people, and I think that could be kind of fun. Alrighty, those are the 7 things I am hoping for from the Clash system. Of course, each person is going to want different things, but I believe most people are excited for this feature's implementation. Let me know what you guys are wanting out of Clash and what you agree and disagree with me with. This has been a fun way to get excited for future features. If you want to see more content like this, hit that like button and subscribe. This is a new channel and it's already doing so well. I just want to say thank you for helping me hit 100 subs in about a week. I'm hoping to keep pumping out content. If you want to see more content, again, like button, subscribe. I will see you guys in the next one.